Good morning. It is 7:42 a.m. on Wednesday, July 8th, 2020. I'm Christiana Ellis, and I just got up from giving Rocket belly rubs on the floor. This is 5 more minutes. What are you doing, buddy? What is that? He just pulled a piece of junk mail off the counter. He has recently discovered that if he hops up on his hind legs, puts his front legs on the side of the counter, he can just reach anything that is sticking over the edge of the counter, which is a whole new adventure for me in terms of my cluttered counter. Speaking of, I'm just looking at it behind me now in this video and just feeling like maybe I ought to declutter that counter. Oh well. So I'm running a little bit behind this morning. Oops. We had a good session of so many levels last night, but then it just took me a little while to get to sleep, and so then I slept later this morning than I kind of meant to, and I kind of gotta move, gotta get to work. So many levels was good. Fought a big 5-headed dragon god. Still in progress, actually. But yeah, there's some very silly things that happened, which I enjoyed. Um, yeah, so that's good. And I'm just, yeah, I'm happy with that. And yeah, being back in the office this week, you know, it's inconvenient compared to working from home. But at the same time, it just becomes more trivially easy to get certain things done when you're just right there. Which I have to say is nice. And there's a part of me too that has to kind of remind myself that eventually that's going to go back to being the normal thing. But and I should not look at it as some imposition on me. I wasn't really, but it's like sometimes you catch your subconscious having reactions to things that your conscious mind says, "What? No, no, that's not what that is." But yeah, so I am this morning though, woke up just feeling like I've got allergy, itchy eyes, and need some caffeine. So, um, but yeah, it's midweek. Rocket's been doing just fine. Being home, just mostly sleeping while I go to work. Although he was kind of restless during recording of the podcast yesterday, so I wonder if there's an element to where when I was away all day, and then in the evenings he feels like I should be more attentive to him instead of recording Dungeons and Dragons. Could be. I could see that line of reasoning. What do you think, Rocket? Is that what's going on? He's looking up at me very guilty because he's been tearing a little piece of junk mail paper into little bits. And I decided to just let him do it. You make these calls sometimes as a dog owner. Yeah, so anyway, how am I still only at 4 minutes? I feel like this one has been going on forever. Um, oh, I remember the other thing that I was going to just mention was I'm going to be probably this week checking out more of Burn Bright, Bright spelled with a Y, which is a brand new tabletop role playing game designed by and explicitly for the virtual tabletop platform Roll20. I use Roll20 a bunch for when I want to use maps in my online D&D games. And so this is a new gaming system, like it's like Dungeons and Dragons, but a different game. And it's focused on science fantasy, where it's citing things like um, Guardians of the Galaxy and Star Wars and things like that for their like the inspiration and the flavor they're going for. And I've only gotten a chance to look at it just a little bit because it only just came out yesterday afternoon. But what I've seen so far, I feel is interesting. So I'll probably do. Um, I might do a stream. Like once I've read a little bit more of it, I might do a stream doing like character creation or something like that. We'll see. And then I'll probably run it at some point, just because there's enough of it that seems interesting that I might run it on a Saturday or something. Anyway, I'll go ahead and leave it there, and I'll talk to you all tomorrow for 5 more minutes.